Good morning, John here. Just walked on the treadmill, my mile and a half at 3.4. And I was just, sometimes when I'm on the treadmill, my mind wanders and I think of things and different things that I'm going to do for the day. But today I was thinking about the past. I was thinking about when I used to ride this thing. That was my ride, my first bicycle. Schwinn Stingray. I got it when I was 9. Yeah, rode that. Delivered a lot of papers. A lot of paper. I had 3 paper routes, but back in the old neighborhood. And I found I keep this in my Bible. This is September 19th, 1973. Leighton Ford crusade. He was kind of like a Billy Graham type of thing. And I would have been 8th grade that day, but that was the first time I'd actually walked down before men. They had an altar call, and the thing that makes it memorable was a boy that was sitting next to me. He'd kind of been a friend bully. He was kind of a friend / bully throughout my whole life. He always used to make fun of me, and I remember in first grade when we would in reading class, I was kind of a slow reader and slow comprehender, so I would always go slow, and I'd always finish the exercise last, and he would always make fun of me for that. And so I got to the point where it was so bad I would actually fake reading it to where and I didn't read it, I would fake it, just to make him happy, so he wouldn't pick on me. But I went all through school with him, and kind of at this point here, when I stood up, walked down to the stage, and they gave me this card to kind of remember. That was 1970, because I was raised, my folks took me to church from diapers, but I hadn't really, it was at this point when it became a relationship, I would say. And then also, I did it in front of him, the childhood, and the weird thing was from that point on, we went on to high school, but he dropped out of high school his sophomore year. And I didn't really see him much after that. And I heard just a few years ago, I'll be 66, and this was when I was 60. Him and I were the same age. But I heard from another grade school friend that he was in out west, I believe in Portland, Oregon, and he was with him at the time, and he died they found him on a park bench. He either overdosed on, I'm not sure if it was drugs or if it was alcohol, but he basically drank himself to death, I guess. And it just kind of, stuff like that, you just kind of, it's like, and he was such a talented athlete too. He could have been a baseball player, football player. He was such a talented young man. But it's I remember when I was a young man. I always used to think of a saying that kind of reflects my life and so many people's lives. It says, the Bible says that we're to present ourselves as a living sacrifice. Well, the problem with a living sacrifice is it crawls off the altar. And I probably can't count how many times that's the case with me. But I used to read a proverb. I read a chapter a day. That gets you through the Bible in 3 years. If you read 3 chapters a day, that gets you through the Bible in a year. But back in the day when I was a young man, I used to read one proverb a day, because there's 31 proverbs, and there's so much wisdom in the proverbs. But and yeah, some of us heed those warnings and obey those teachings, and others of us don't. But that was sad to hear that he died in such a way. I can't think of a lonelier way to die. But it is what it is. So anyhow, I just felt like sharing my treadmill thoughts this morning for what they're worth. All right, you have a good one. God bless.